Hello and welcome to Base Plate Reviews. Today I wanted to ask whether any of you have a Lego backlog, so that means sets that you've got ready to build but you just haven't actually even opened the boxes, you haven't got around to building them. The reason for that is I'm going to show you just how bad my backlog is. Pretty shameful when I'm actually buying new sets and stuff. Some of these ones I've had for an absolute age. On top of that, I'm going to go over what I picked up in the Black Friday sale on lego.com. There were actually some pretty good deals, but you did have to move fast. A lot of stuff was selling out really quite quickly, so it looks like it was pretty good for Lego, maybe not so much for consumers. On top of that, I'm also going to show you what I spent 25,000 insiders points on. So basically everything that I've saved up for quite a while. Normally I'd save it up for the new Modular that's coming out, but of course that's Shopping Street in 2026. And I'm not a big fan of that one at all. I think, like quite a few others, that generated a lot of comments on the video I did a couple back. Most of them pretty negative towards it, understandably so in my opinion, but you know, one of those things. But I will show you straight off the bat what I picked up on Black Friday. We'll start off with that and we'll get to the backlog afterwards. So starting off then, and I picked up the Ninjago City Markets over the Black Friday kind of double insiders points weekend. This one was 30% off, so I got it for 336 Canadian dollars instead of 480. Plus with those double points, that's effectively $33 back as well. And then there were gifts with purchase as well. One of them was the hot chocolate stand, that kind of seasonal set. I think that's a pretty nice one. May well end up building that at some point in the future if I do make a kind of Christmassy scene, a winter village scene. We also got that mini Knights Castle set. Not anything that I'm particularly interested in, but I'll save it, I'll put it into the pile and sell it at some point in the future, I'm sure. It's just nice to get as a little extra. And then we also got that small poly bag, which is the baby gorilla encounter. Actually pretty nice because you do get that baby gorilla and a bit of foliage and stuff, so it's not completely unuseful. Now I think that the Ninjago City Market set was a really nice one to pick up. This is because it's retiring. Also, this was not available for very long. Basically, I was making a video that night of what deals were available with the Black Friday stuff. And this, if I hadn't got it ordered straight away, it was gone by the morning. There were a few sets like that that went within a couple of hours. So either Lego didn't quite get it right in terms of what the demand was going to be, or just they were not producing any new sets. They were just trying to get rid of what they already had. Obviously this is a pretty big set, base plate and a half in terms of the width of it. I've got Ninjago City Gardens, which really loved. I got that for a good deal as well. Got some bonus points. I want to say 5,000 insiders points for it having a damaged box. It didn't seem to have a damaged box whatsoever, but I picked that up from the Edmonton store, the kind of flagship store here in Canada. I'm hopeful this is going to be a good one. Obviously a lot of modularity with it, and yeah, it should be really interesting build. Obviously do like my buildings, so very much looking forward to this one. Don't know if I'll do a review of it. You can see on the box it actually does show expand your Ninjago City. This is one that I certainly wouldn't really be doing any modifications to other than putting it onto a Mills plate. But yeah, like I say, really looking forward to actually doing the build of this one. So after I picked up Ninjago City Markets, that left me with just over 25,000 insiders points. And like I say, I'd usually save those up to put towards the new Modular, but with Shopping Street, I didn't like it at all. This was 250 Canadian dollars, so 25,000 insiders points, or 24,999, and I decided to use my points on this. It's Megapolis City, the Monkey Kid set, not retiring or anything like that, still available through 2026 I believe, but this is a set I really did want to pick up because I've got the City of Lanterns, which is basically an accompanying set to this one. It will show you the back of the box, and you should see this kind of framework here. That is exactly what I built with City of Lanterns, and then all of the other parts were modular just like this. Really nice set. Obviously this goes pretty well with Ninjago City Markets. The other reason for picking this one up when I did, no double points or anything, but because I was using my insiders points, that's not a problem. But there was a gift with purchase advertised, which is the Winter Gazebo, another nice little winter set. But on top of that, sets that weren't advertised as gifts with purchase but came up in my basket once I added the Monkey Kid set were these. So micro Ninjago City Markets. Obviously that's the miniature version of this one, so that's pretty nice. Might end up building that. And also on top of that, I got the Magic Maze. So this is a set that's been a gift with purchase before. I believe it's a game that you can actually build and then play. I probably won't build it. I'll try and sell it at some point in the future to offset the cost of the rest of the Lego. But, you know, pretty nice. I think that that's the right time to use insiders points when there are gifts with purchase available. Bearing in mind you don't earn any points when you use your points. So no point in using it when it's double points or anything like that. I'm really pleased to pick these two sets up, especially Ninjago City Markets. It is retiring and it did disappear from the sale page really quite quickly. But actually this one looks really, really nice. I think that the City of Lanterns is a better set than it, but I think this is going to go really nice into my Chinatown section of the city. The bad thing is though that I already have a load of sets that I need to get built, and I'm going to show you those alongside these couple of sets to show you just how bad that backlog is right now. Here we are then. So outside of the two sets that I've just picked up, Megapolis and the Ninjago City Market set just down to the right there, these are all the sets that are sitting in my backlog. I've actually got like 17 different sets here, which is not great. Now some of them aren't too bad. For example, I've got a set of road plates just here. I use those to make up the value so that I got a gift with purchase at some time in the past. They'll be useful if I do some expansion to the city. I've also got a couple of Bricklink designer program sets there, so I may or may not build those. The reason for that is I haven't actually had the greatest build experience with these so far. I actually just built the Adventure in Transylvania set, which was really lovely set, but the build experience was pretty horrible. So I've got the Art of Chocolate here. I think it's quite a good Christmas set actually, so it may have been good to build this year. On top of that, I've got, if we move this one out of the way, the Brick Cross Station set. Now looks really, really great. Again, like I say, may or may not build it. I'm sure I'll be able to sell it on for a profit if it's unopened at some point in the future. On top of that, picked up this Robot World roller coaster city set for full 50% off a little while ago. It was too good a deal to give up really, and I do like roller coasters, stuff like that. I just haven't got around to building that. Don't know where I'd put it in my city. On top of that, in terms of city sets, I did actually pick up a car wash. So I've already built one of these. I picked this up because again it was full 50% off, and I thought that I'd be able to build a mock with the other car wash set. Still planning on doing that. I think that'll be pretty good, so no problems with picking that one up. Other sets that I've done similar with are the Ninjago Dragons Rising Tournament Battle Arena. Again, got this for a really good price. I've already built one of these. I'm going to use the parts and build something for my Chinatown section of the city. So again, some of them not too bad, but then we move on to the stuff where I just really haven't got around to building it. So pick this one up second hand. So the Hogwarts Express, after it was retired, is a set I should have picked up at the time when it was out, because actually one that I really like. I want to build this and also going to make a bit of a diorama of it, flesh out the actual station, so platform 9 3/4, King's Cross, and hopefully get something that's pretty presentable. On top of that, probably the biggest set that I picked up but haven't built was this one. So this is the Monkey Kids set, which is Monkey Kids Team Secret HQ, and this is the one that's like a big barge and splits up, or pulls apart to reveal their secret base inside. Just a set that I really, really like the look of. Big fan of Monkey Kid stuff. Haven't watched a TV program or anything like that, but just think it's one of the more inventive themes that Lego have got out at the moment. On top of that, stuff that I picked up this year. So I picked up the Mario and Standard Kart set. Picked it up on pre-order, so got the spiny shell with it. Just have never got around to actually building this set. I'm not a big one for display sets, more like stuff for the city, but I did think this one was really good, and I do have a Switch too, so thought it would be a nice accompanying set. Staying with the video game theme, I managed to pick the Peely Bone Fortnite setup. Now, Fortnite isn't anything I'm particularly interested in, but I said I thought this was probably one of the very best sets of 2024, and once I was able to get it with a discount on it, believe that it is retiring, I thought that I'd go for it because I think it's going to be a really desirable set, and I just really wanted to do the build. I think it looks great. Other sets that I picked up because they were a good deal is the Sandman's Tower set. So I've already built one of these. Want to use this one along with the one I've already built to build some kind of building for my city, some kind of worship building, so a church, something like that. Obviously you're not really going to get that from Lego themselves. Now this one's an interesting one because we bought one for ourselves, me and my wife, which is the Up House, the Disney Up House, but I also got given one as a gift, which actually is not a bad thing because we always planned on potentially doubling it up anyway and making a fully enclosed set. So should get around to that at some point, but do need to at least build the first one with my wife because we did say we'd build it together. So that's the reason we haven't done that one. On top of that, one other set that was second hand, which is this Creator 3-in-1 set I picked up in the UK, brought to Canada with me, and have just never got around to building it. I think that the boat here looks really, really nice. That's what I'm interested in, not either of the other 3-in-1 sets. Certainly that one down at the bottom doesn't seem to use that many of the parts. Just haven't got any kind of beach area or bay area of my city, but potentially if we take the trains out, then we'll have that. Another one which I thought I would integrate with my whole campsite area of the city, but I just ended up with no space, was this Creator 3-in-1 Outback cabin. So at some point I will build that. Maybe it's a little bit of a retro review or something, but just haven't had the space in the city for it, and that's why it didn't get built. One that I definitely will get round to is the Cozy House, so the Creator 3-in-1 set here. I've already got one of these built, but I think I'm going to open this up and use the one that I've already got in the city. I say in the city, it's just kind of sat there as a placeholder, but build a fully enclosed version sitting on a base plate, or at least half a base plate, and get myself going with a bit more of a residential area for the city. Finally, one that I picked up because it was a really good deal, our Mastermind Toys, which is a company in Canada, was closing here in our local town, and managed to pick up the Lunar New Year Ice Festival set. This is one that definitely hasn't increased in value over the original 150 Canadian dollar price point. I already have one of these, and really nice set. I've got it kind of combined with another plate to form a bigger kind of ice, snow, winter scene. I think that I'll end up opening this up and just expanding that out. Some really unique pieces that make up the actual ice rink. So pretty valuable from that kind of point of view. You get into pieces which are pretty difficult to get hold of. But yeah, that's everything. Probably in terms of what I'm really looking forward to building is that Monkey Kid set that I've just placed down on the floor. But do need to actually start getting around to some of these. Some of them I may do a review for, but I think a lot of them it's just going to be over the cold winter period, sitting down and doing some building. So how bad do you think that is in terms of a backlog? Obviously not ideal, but potentially some of you have even bigger ones. Probably not, but do let me know if you have got a backlog, if there's any sets that you're really looking forward to building that you've had for quite a while. One of the bad things about this is because they are all in their boxes, it takes up quite a lot of space in terms of storage. I'm fortunate that I have got somewhere to store them here in the Lego room under the stairs. I've got quite good space for that. The good thing about them all being in their boxes, of course, is if I don't want to build them and I want to sell them, they'll all retain their value and probably increase in value quite a bit as well. Some of it's just down to not getting round to doing projects to do with the city. And talking about that, what you might notice in the city is there are no official modulars in there anymore. So they're actually all sat under the table. I'll show you just here. And so I'm going to need to get a storage solution or a display solution for those. So some shelving, something like that. Probably not here in the Lego room. Not sure if I've got quite enough space for it. But in my kind of living room that I've got here in the basement as well. I am down in the basement. That's where we've got the Lego room. I've been relegated down here. I haven't. It's I'm very, very happy with it, just to be clear. But yeah, probably find some kind of IKEA or equivalent storage solution, display solution. If any of you've got any ideas for how best to display the modulars outside of a city layout, which is how I've had them so far, then please do let me know. And with that, like I say, like, comment, subscribe. Comments for in terms of the solutions for displaying the modulars would be really, really great. But yeah, all that kind of YouTube nonsense. But hopefully this has given you a bit of an insight into what I've got in terms of sets ready to be built. Not in terms of what I'm planning on doing in January. Obviously a few new sets to review, certainly some of the city sets. But hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, like I say, do leave a like. And with that, I'll leave you and say, as always, be good.